Hey everybody. So I forgot what my name was. Tyler Cruz here, also known as Always Dizzy. I'm too lazy to edit that out, so it's staying in. Um, yeah, so this video, as the title will say, is I thought it would be interesting to share the expenses of what it cost me to go to the average chess tournament, because I get a lot of people asking when I live stream, like, Tyler, when you playing in another tournament, or why don't you play in another tournament? And well, it's expensive, man. Like, a lot of you are very lucky in that you can just drive to a tournament and then drive home each day, or uh, or maybe it's just cheaper. Like, you just have a cheaper cost of living where you are. But it's expensive for me, and I'm not rich, so the tournaments add up. And I thought I would share how much it cost me exactly to the penny on my most recent tournament. And I actually have kept the receipts here just to make this video. And let me get a thumbnail here. Let me get a thumbnail. Um, okay, one of these. Hopefully YouTube picks up one of these. It's the thumbnail. Get it on my face there. Okay. Yeah, so let's dig right in. I put all of this into a spreadsheet. And for context, I am in Canada. I'm in British Columbia, Canada. I'm on an island in British Columbia, Canada. Um, so there's almost no local tournaments where I am. The closest is on the island, but it's still about an hour 45-minute drive away, meaning it's too far to drive back and forth every day between rounds, and between days. It's just too much driving. That's about 4 hours of driving a day. So I would still have to get a hotel, even the ones that are on my island. So first of all, let's look at the first tournament or the most recent tournament that I played in earlier this month, the 2025 New Year's Open. That was on the mainland. And I guess I need to show my screen. I probably should have showed these one by one. It might have been more interesting. I'm wondering if I should do, I am going to do that. To make it much more interesting. And in fact, I should do that for the other ones too. No, I won't. I'll just do it for the first one. Okay, so let me get back to my screen here. Boom. Okay. So first of all, these images, this is just an image of, I showed it in my actual video, but this is just some of the food that I brought with me to try to save a bit of money and to just have some emergency food on hand. So I brought some hard-boiled eggs and some fruit and some like tuna cracker combo things and some little cheesies. Didn't end up eating the oatmeal. And these actually came in very handy. So this is something that I'm going to be doing on upcoming trips. I'm going to bring in a little bit of food to subsidize the cost and to, again, just have some emergency food on hand. That was a good improvement on my planning for the tournament. And this is just the playing venue of this tournament that I went to earlier this month. So first of all, the tournament registration fee was $128.13. So by the way, all of these prices are in Canadian, but at the end, I guess I could do it now. Okay, give me 1 second while I go back here. I'm just going to quickly put in the USD values of all of this for you American and international viewers. Okay, I could do that to the other spreadsheets too, but yeah, let's start there and then let me go back. Boom. Okay, so this column is Canadian, this column is US. So the registration fee was 128 Canadian. I'm just going to say Canadian for all the prices, but you can see the US value here. It's a little expensive, but they also have some better prizes at this particular tournament. And then I have to take a ferry from my island to the mainland. And so there and back cost me $38.70. So pretty, quite affordable for that. There is a faster ferry that costs twice as much, but where this tournament was, I would have had to have paid more for Uber, so it didn't really make sense. Then the food I brought from home, this stuff here, I estimated about $11. And then on the ferry, now this, I guess I could have skipped this, but I had a breakfast Benny there that I paid $15.99 for. Yeah, I could have skipped it, but it's a 2-hour ferry ride. Okay, so I would have, and I had to get up really early, so I would have had to have eaten at home, and then by the time I got to the tournament, and then played my game, and so I'd be too hungry, so I ate on the ferry, and then this was on the way back, on the ferry back. I had lunch too. I guess I could have skipped it, but again, it's a 2-hour ferry ride, so yeah, another $21, $21.59. And then I ordered DoorDash one time, and I ordered 2 meals at the same time, and I had one for dinner, and then I had the other one for lunch the next day. That cost me $50. And then I stopped by the gas station because it was the only place nearby was food, and bought like a couple chocolate bars for snacks. That was $6. And yeah, so taking an Uber from the ferry to the playing hall was $41.19 with tip. And then my Airbnb was $235.63. I actually got a really good price on the Airbnb because it was a pretty nice Airbnb, apart from all the issues that I showed in my video about it being way too hot. It was a huge room, very nice room. But yeah, so $235, and this was a good deal for accommodation. But that's the accommodation is always the most significant portion of tournament cost for me. And then we had the Uber ride home from the ferry was $41.73. Now I don't take my car because I just can't see when it's raining at night. I don't know, I'm too old, I guess. Plus, I just don't like driving on the mainland in general. But the cost for me to had taken my car on the ferry, it actually works out to about the same as if I use the Uber and do the foot passenger on the ferry. So that works out about the same anyways. Yeah, and that's all the individual itemized costs. And then that's the total. So cost me close to $600 to go to this 3-day tournament. It was a 9-round tournament. And if you do that once a year, okay, that's fine. But people ask me like, oh, when's your next tournament? When's your next tournament? If I go to a tournament once a month, I mean, let me just do the math here. If they were all this price, that's $7,200 a year. over $7,000 a year to go to tournaments once a month. So it's not cheap. And I always thought this was interesting. So this was a 9-round tournament, and so the per round cost was $98.32 per round. So that's effectively what it cost me to play a round of rated chess, is $100 per round. So again, not cheap. Now here's another tournament. This is one that is coming up. It's the BC Open. And so this one will cost more. This one is held next month. And it would cost me $850. And so these are all the same, but the main difference here is the accommodation. The only accommodation nearby, because this is held at a university, is at the university. And I was looking into it last night. I don't even think they're accepting guests right now, because I tried to, I tried to like book something. I wasn't actually going to book it, but I was looking into booking, and I was having issues. I think they might not do it at this time of year. Anyways, they had two different options. They had a normal hotel type of deal, which was 159 per night, and then they had like a really more like a hostel type of thing, a tiny little. It's like a tiny dorm room, really just really tiny dorm room, like a prison, and it's shared washrooms, which I don't like, and that was 70 a night. So I based this off of 159 per night, which would be 510. So I could do this cheaper if I did the shared washrooms, tiny closet dorm type of deal. If I let me do the math on that, well, that would be what, 210. So that would put it down to 550, but it would also be less comfortable. But it could be done. But yeah, if I do the normal hotel type of deal, then it's $141 per round of chess that it comes out to. Okay. And then finally, we have the GPO. The GPO is in April. That's the Grand Pacific Open. And that's held on the island I'm at that I was talking about before. That it's about an hour and 45, hour 50-minute drive away. It's held in a nice hotel. And I'm glad I ran the numbers on this because I thought it was cheaper than it was. It's actually more expensive than I thought. So this one, I don't like that. This one I will drive to and from because it's held not in the winter, so it's much brighter at night. So I can make it home, and it won't be raining at that time, or it shouldn't be. So this one, not as many items for me, but this is also a 4-day event. So it's 1 day longer than a lot of events, or even 2 days longer. And on the first and last day, it's only one round. So you're kind of spending extra hotel money for fewer rounds. This one is 159 per night. And there's no Airbnbs close by that are any better of a deal. So this is really the best option, is to stay at this hotel. So for 3 nights, that's $477. Parking is $23 per night. And then I added $10 in for gas. So to go to this tournament is $800 Canadian, or $550 American. That's a per round fee of $133. Now, if I decided to skip, so to get a buy in the first round and the 6th round, that would effectively let me eliminate two nights at the hotel, which would save me over $300. So if I did that, then the tournament would be $357, and that would bring my per round fee to $90. But the problem is then I'm only playing 4 rounds. And if I want to compete for a prize, I'm not going to do that. I got to play all the rounds to do that, right? So it is a possibility. Also, if I carpool with somebody, this could drop in half, right? The parking, because we could split the parking and split the gas, right? So what is that? That would save me $40 there, which isn't really much though, because it's really the hotel. Now, a lot of you might be saying, okay, well, if you split a room with somebody, you could have your costs on the hotel. And that's very true. And that would definitely bring down the cost significantly. But I can't share a room with somebody. I'm an extremely light sleeper. I'm just very, very much of a light sleeper. And sleep is so important at a chess tournament. So that just doesn't work for me. Plus, I bring my laptop with me and I work from my hotel room, so I kind of need quiet and I need the extra surface space on the table. And yeah, I'm just not really for sharing a room. So that, again, it just doesn't really work for me. Maybe if when I was younger. But yeah, I thought I would share that. I thought it'd be interesting. I don't know if I've ever seen somebody else kind of share their tournament costs from a chess tournament on YouTube, but I'm sure somebody has. Yeah, let me know what you think, and hopefully this kind of shed some light on why I'm not playing a tournament every 2 weeks or every month. There is no shortage of tournaments here. I'm fortunate for that, but it's expensive and it adds up. As I say, you can easily spend 8 to 10,000 a year if you go to kind of not every tournament, but even just like a tournament per month. And I would rather like invest that money, So I'll go to some tournaments, and as my YouTube, or if my YouTube channel grows, I will go to more tournaments more frequently, because then I can help justify the cost a bit more. But at this stage, it's just very expensive to go. Okay, thanks for watching. Take it easy. See you next time.